All right, good afternoon, sirs. By God's grace, I'm Igoku Daniel Chikweze. I will be your trainer for, and we're going to focus our attention on bridge stacker machine. As we all know, it's actually an heavy equipment used for lifting. Let's just fall back to the name, bridge and stack. So you have to use it for what? Stacking. But before that, to every equipment design, there is always a safety measure. That means we are going to look at the things we ought to do first before operating these machines. Now, the first thing we have to look at before identifying anything in the machine, you have to know what the machine is all about and what the machine does, the purpose of that machine. Now, the first thing I'll check here, we're going to check inspections and types of inspection. Inspections and types of inspection. Why do we do inspection? Why do we carry out inspection? Now, if you have a building, after building, you have to clean the whole mess, make sure your house is okay. We call it housekeeping. Same with inspection. Inspection is like housekeeping to every equipment. Before you operate that equipment, you must first of all inspect the machine. And we call it what? Pre-inspection. Check your surroundings, everything that has to do with the machine, from the tire to the spreader to the boom and the rest, to ensure that it's what? Okay. Now the next one is when you check. You enter the cabin, check the buttons, check the operations of the machine. As the name implies, you can call it pre-operational inspection. Then the last one should be what? Post-inspection. Before you hand over any equipment to, maybe you are doing shifting and all of that. Before you hand over the equipment, you have to report to your supervisor, your foreman, probably your manager, the status or the state of that machine before leaving. And how do you carry out what? Inspections. When and how do you carry out what? Inspection? I said one. Before you operate the equipment, you have to check. You have to check the state of the machine visually. You have to operate it as well. Then after the operation, you still check the machine. The essence of putting that automatic is probably prevent an accident. No, the MS is just match it. It will affect the legs. You have to open the legs and work on it. So that is the essence of that automatic system. But if it's just hydraulic may fail at times. You've seen a man basket, man that fail. Yes. Because it's just hydraulic. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Because of the combination of hydraulic. Okay, close. Let's go to the next section. So we understand what this shows here. Now, you also check all these moves. Yeah, you also check them as well. Just check. You're not doing anything. Just one check. That is not the check. That is the pre-inspection. Me, I don't dare so where's the get one? Now, at this point, I believe we've all learned a lot today, and I will entertain question or contribution.
When you pick a container.
Sorry, sir. Your name, sir?
My name is First Hussein.
Okay, sir. Your question.
When you pick a container, in between container, that is to say, when there's a container at the left hand side, there's a container at the right hand side, and those containers are stacked in a block system. Okay. Then when you leave the container and you find out that if you reverse back, though you are in a very straight line, you find out that if you reverse back, maybe by mistakenly you turn your tires, or even though you do not turn your tires, the container you're picking will hit another container. What will be the next process to apply? As I'm asking this question as a new man in the system.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that was a brilliant question. But before I will say anything, I think we actually had a practical section, and with that few practical section, I believe we actually practice all these things. I was actually operating, and you saw everything. Now, let me throw the question back to every one of us. What would be the best thing to do? What is the best solution to this question? How do I manipulate myself out of this situation? Anyone can actually help us out, please.
My name is Francis Bassey. The best way in that situation, when you put the spreader on the container, the best is when you lift, boom it up. Okay? Boom it up so that you can free yourself from the two containers that you were in between. When you boom it up, then you retract them. If you retract now, you can run this.
Okay? That was a nice one. Are we okay with that? Okay.
Contribution, sir.
Okay.
My name is Aaron Boston. Another thing again, in addition to what I just said, when you pick a container in that middle of that stack, you can form it up so as to get to the side of sides where you can see the four corner cast. You should be able to revise back, and because of the reversing, you make use of the hand lever. That's a shift right or a shift left, so that the container will not touch each other.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Any other contribution? Okay. I think they've all answered the question. Like the first man said, when you pick, observe, you retract. First of all, boom up. While booming up, you can start adjusting your boom, like you boom in. When you boom up, you can start booming gradually. Then, in addition to what that is said, then you can lift your loads safely. I think that was a nice one. Thank you very much for that contribution. Any other question or contribution?
Well, my name is Mbari. Mine is the question.
Okay, sir.
I want to find out during the course of our free training, I discovered that we have the stack. Okay. Now, the other way around, we have 3 stacks. In front of the 3 stacks, we have 2 stacks. Also.
Okay, you have 2.
We have
before the 3.
We have 2.
Okay.
Now, I want to find out if it is advisable for you, instead of to pick from the 2 stack in front of the 3 stack, is it advisable for you to pick from the 3 stack? That is, you are jumping 1 step in front of it, to pick from the next step.
Okay. Now your question goes like this: you have 2 at the front, then 3 next. Now you want to pick from the 3 stack. The reason being that you can actually see through, right? Okay. Now, let me put it back. I want us to answer this question. I don't want to be the only person answering this question.
A follow-up question. What is the disadvantage of you picking from a 3 instead of picking from a 2?
Yes, it's actually a big disadvantage. Now, I won't answer this question because we'll actually practice this today. So I want, okay, I want him to answer us. I want him to answer us. Because we'll actually practice this. So I believe we have answers to that.
To that instance, and if some macro based on your question, basically that operation is called overreaching. In a process whereby you want to pick from the stack that is behind what is in front of you, it is possible, but it's a very dangerous operation because you don't know exactly the tonnage of that load you are about to lift. We've seen series of accidents over the years. For the past 15 years, we've seen many accidents that have occurred. Very dangerous ones. Some have taken life, some destroyed the equipment totally, some bent the boom, broke the spreader, tore the spreader apart. I have videos, I have pictures of that happening. But also, many operations, thousands of operations have been successful. The watchword is, do you know what you are about lifting? If it is less than 13 or less than 15 tons, then it is possible. But note, you have thousands of containers in the facility. You don't know that particular box. If something happens and you are lifting about 28 tons and above, depending on how you've positioned yourself, your spreader against that tag, you may be successful based on experience, your lifting pattern, but if you fail to follow a proper procedure, you will end up toppling over the box. Your counterweights will go up against the container. The front tires will climb up onto that first 2 stack, and that first box that you have picked will fall over. That's what will drag you and your equipment. Your so-called 45 tons restacker will leave the ground. We have seen it happen. It's a dangerous operation. It is possible to pick a container, to overreach and pick a container. And also, if you are not experienced, it can really be a dangerous operation. For refreshers like our group here, my advice is that you take time out, clear the box in front of you, go close to the container, and do a safe operation.
Okay, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. So, to crown it all, I think it's not advisable to overreach.
Excuse me.
Make sure there's a space for units. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, you're actually welcome to today's section. Today is the 5th day of this trading section at the ECM terminal, Calabar. Now, we've been able to take them through the classroom section, and we want them to display to us what we've been able to teach them so far, what they understand by the word pre-inspection. I want one of them to quickly tell us the different types of inspection. Just watch and see, don't leave this in. So please, can you actually tell us the types of inspection before you go on for today's inspection?
Yes, sir. Like what we taught us before commencement of field assessment and field training. said there are 3 types of inspection carried out before the operator is to go or to operate an equipment. One is the pre-inspection, which is the visual inspection around the machine. The second one is the operational inspection, where the operator climbs the equipment, tests all the working mechanism, the operational mechanism of the equipment. While the third one is after the use of the equipment, the operator will now go around the equipment and inspect if there's any complaint or not, if there's any debt or not, and that one is called post-operational inspection. I think that is exactly what they have told us, and we want to pass this now before we want to find equipment. We also want to do that so that we'll be acquainted to that kind of system you are just told us.
All right, thank you very much. If you are watching right there, you actually saw what he did. That was an excellent job, and I want you to watch out because we're about to go into the real deal. All right, viewers out there, I want you to know that today is going to be a wonderful day. It's going to be a mind-blowing day. I remain your anchor, Igwokudane Chibweze, one of your instructors today for this section. Now, we quickly want to start from this very part of this machine, and we call it what? Pre-inspection. Please watch and see why they do what they've been taught.
Loose nuts. Now there's no loose nut.
Go for the tire.
Tire are okay.
Yes, okay.
Look at the headlamp, the indicator lamp. They are okay.
Move to the spreader.
All the hoses are intact.
Well lubricate. Turntable. There's no leakage in the azole.
There's no leakage.
The azole is okay. The twist lock are okay. There's no dents on the twist lock. The most sensitive parts of the machine. Now we get to the side mirror. When you wash your back, to the side mirror are okay. No crack, no damage. This is the hydraulic tank. It's well gauged. The spool and the port are okay. The reverse light is okay. And the headlight, the back headlight is also okay. The exhaust, there's no leakage in the exhaust. The exhaust is okay.
Tires are okay. Let's not look at the wheels. The wheels are also okay. They are intact.
The canter is okay. The power steering is okay.
All right, thank you very much. That was a wonderful section of this training section. As you can see, I'm about to hand over the key to one of these trainees to actually detail us with what we call pre-operational inspection. Watch and see.
We are now in the pre-operational inspection. This is the safety belt, as you can see, for the operator. All these buttons you are seeing here are the lightning system of this equipment. This is the steering, this is the gear lever, this is the itchy brake, and this is the throttle, and this is the brake. Of course, this is the lever that does all the operational lifting of this equipment. This is the parking brake, and this is the lock nut button. So now I want to start the pre-inspection proper, as we are taught in the class the very first day of this training.